We've been on a few cruises now, but embarkation day still makes me a little bit nervous because I want everything to go just right and I want to set up our cruise for smooth sailing. Join us on our embarkation day and see, was it a success? Before even getting to the ship, there's a few things that I did to help to make it go smoothly. I downloaded the app, did all the check-ins days and days before to make sure that when we got to the port, we were ready to go. I'm going to be honest with you. There's one thing that I tell you to do and everybody tells you to do, and I didn't do it. And that is we did not fly in early. Nope, we flew in on the day of the cruise. Now, we've done it twice before. So we went to Vancouver 2 other times. This is the 3rd time. It's the same flight that we've gone in every time. It's never been a problem. But I have to tell you, that was my biggest stress was, is it going to make it? Because I talk about being ready and going in early, and here I am not doing it. Causes a lot of what ifs and a lot of stress. I know something smart cruisers do, and I really want to be a smart cruiser, and that is they make sure that in their carry-on bag, they have the right documentation, which for us, this meant passports, not passport cards, and prescriptions, and some cash. We arrived at the airport on time, 9 a.m., and we headed over to take the light rail. We've done it before. It's super simple, and you get to see the sights as you travel through the city to get to the port. Now they're at the port, you walk down this ramp. So if you take a transfer, the buses take you right underneath where you drop off your luggage. Actually, if you do a transfer, you don't have to drop off your luggage, but if you take a taxi, you do. We, since we took the light rail, just walked down, and then we walked over to where you drop your luggage off with porters. When we dropped off the luggage, the porters were sure to ask, do you have your passport? Do you have your prescriptions? Because they know you're not going to get to that bag for a few hours, and you're going to need that passport to get on the ship. All right, you've already dropped off your luggage. It went to bye, just like that. The next step was to go and check in. Our check-in process, we're on Princess, so we needed to go and pick up our medallions. Princess has medallions that act as your key card. When you get to that part, you either go in a green lane or a blue lane. Green lane means you already got your medallion shipped to your house. The blue lane means you're going to go pick it up. Either way, it really was only a difference of about 5 minutes. Last year when we sailed out of Vancouver, there were long lines. This year, there just wasn't as many lines, or maybe we're there earlier this time. I'm not really sure why, but it went fast. All right, we've dropped off our bags. We have checked in. We have our medallions. Woo! Time to go through customs. You do go through metal detectors similar to an airport, but not nearly as intense. So you go through metal detectors, they check your passport, and then you're on. Yeah. I think you know I want to be a smart cruiser. And I know smart cruisers get their mustard drill out of the way right away. So we found a lounge. We were able to watch the video, the safety video on our phones. And then we just walked over to our muster station and checked in. After the muster drill, our next stop was to go to the main dining room. I did not have reservations because I wasn't that smart. I did not get those reservations early as soon as they opened them, and all the early spots were gone. So I went to the main dining room hoping to get reservations. This is the international dining room that we're going to try to get reservations. And when I got there, they told me you have to go and do that on one of the ship's phones. So we headed to our cabin to give it a go. We weren't sure if our cabin was going to be cleaned already because it was only 11:30 and people had just gotten off the ship at 8:30 from the previous cruise. That's a pretty quick turnaround. But when we got there, we were pleasantly surprised. Everything was clean and ready to go. Even my bathrobe was hanging in the closet. So at that point, I was able to use the phone to get our reservations. As a YouTuber, I want to be able to show everybody those cabins. So we took the time right then before our luggage was there, before we made a mess out of the place, to take videos of everything and photos of the room. Pretty much at this point, we're pretty set up for the cruise. We've checked off those boxes. So it's time to go get lunch. I like to go get a burger and fries up on the pool deck. I find that it's easy and that it's not nearly as crowded as the buffet. When we got to the pool deck, it was crowded. We had to snag a seat as soon as somebody else got up. They're like, all right, we're leaving. You want to see it? I'm like, yes, we do. So we headed over and we kind of planted ourselves because we saw how crowded it was with people swimming and in the hot tubs and laying out. There were a lot of people. Vancouver was full of people that wanted to take advantage of the sun. We ordered our burgers and fries. They were yummy. And then we just kind of stayed there for a while because we knew the sail-away party would be on that deck. I like to be a smart sailor, and smart sailors watch the sail-away party. So we hunkered down and we stayed right where we were so that nobody would steal our spot. Well, we should have left and explored the ship because 4 o'clock sail away time came and there was no sailing away. It was 4:15, no sailing away. 4:30, no sailing away. 4:45, no sailing away. Now we had to sail away because it was time for our dinner at the main dining room. We went to the main dining room and we ate. Our first night, we had a table, and I didn't really like the location of it. One thing that you can do is you can talk to the maitre d' and kind of negotiate a different spot. We lucked out. There was a table that was perfect, and he just said, you just had to be done eating by 7:40. We're starting dinner at 5. No problem. Oh, no. The first night is your chance to check out that menu. If you're a picky eater, you're going to go right to the standards. The standards that are there every night. Because that way, if you don't like what's on the menu, at least you know that every night they're going to have a steak, or they're going to have salmon, or they're going to have chicken. So that if all this other food choices are too fancy for you, you'll have something to eat. I do suggest that you always order 2 appetizers if 2 look appealing to you, 2 mains if 2 look appealing to you, and then at least 1 dessert, if not 2. This way, let's just say the first night I ordered the asparagus risotto and I ordered the cod. Well, the asparagus risotto was not my favorite. The cod was delicious. So I had a couple bites of the asparagus risotto, tried it out, not my fave, and I still had a whole meal to eat. That first night is a great time on embarkation day to see what are the portion sizes. So on Princess, the portion sizes are pretty small for their appetizers and their mains. So that makes you feel like, yeah, it's fine. I'll order 2 of each because you're not going to have so much food. You're going to be stuffed. Other cruise lines, their portion sizes are larger. So at that point, you're kind of like, oh, I hate to order 2. I probably would anyway, but be ready to know you're not going to eat them all. Did we get it right? Are we smart cruisers? I think we did okay. If you want to know everything you need to keep in mind to make your next cruise stress-free, watch this video next. Happy sailing!